Marina Bay hosted a Grand Prix that briefly ran in the 60s and 70s, but the Garden City re-entered the calendar for good in 2008. We missed it for a couple of years, but it was great to come back to the Singapore Grand Prix. And here's our track, 4.94 kilometres long, and overtaking chances into the first corner, into turn 14 at the end of the Esplanade, and now into turn 16 in the newly reprofiled sector that we first ran on in 2023. Still though, it's punishing and tough on the brakes, and the heat and humidity will take an effect on our drivers. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Pierre Gasly lines up on pole position, and it's Charles Leclerc in P2. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Russell, Albon, Fernando Alonso, and Hülkenberg, Stroll, Antonelli, Sainz, and Yuki Tsunoda, Hamilton, Piastri, Max Verstappen, and Norris, Bortoleto, Ocon, Isaac Hadjar, and Liam Lawson. Behrman and Jack Doohan rounds off the grid. With preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track. And alongside me, a man, well, what more can I say? But he's a legend, Anthony Davidson. Look, we know it's not where you start, it's where you finish. But let's talk about the start now. What's there to help the drivers get away well?
Big pressure at the start of the race, Crofty, for all of them up and down the grid, no matter where you are. But the drivers these days, they practice, practice and practice. They have rigs with them at the circuit where they can sit down with the actual steering wheel from the real car, and they've got lights that they react to. The clutch paddle is tailored around the driver's hands, around their fingers, so they can have optimum position before they start. So there's so much thought and effort that goes into getting these cars off the line.
Okay, give me a quick radio check, please. Radio check.
Radio check.
Okay, DRS is now available. You might experience some understeer now that you're in the wake of the car ahead. Try to get past as soon as possible. great manoeuvre. You made it look so easy. Final lap, push, push.
Sacre Bleu, Pierre Gasly has destroyed the opposition. Pierre Gasly wins.
A great display of dominance today, Crofty, by this driver. They led from lights out to the flag at the end, led every lap of the race. Brilliant stuff by them, and excited to see what more they can do in future races.
And once all the hard work is over, and after lap of brilliant racing, it's time now to celebrate with our podium trio. He gave it some gas, and he emerged in front, our top spot today, to Pierre Gasly. Well, that was certainly an exciting weekend of Formula One. Be sure to join us for more exciting Formula One action very soon.